Okay, everybody, it's me, Gregory Mannarino. It is Wednesday, May 25th, 2022, and it's already starting. It's a freak show, and it's getting even freakier. What am I talking about? Let's start off with the economic news first. And this took everybody by surprise. Nobody expected this one except you and I. So durable goods orders come in this morning lower than expected, and they just can't figure it out. Why? I don't understand it. Everything's great. No, everything couldn't be worse, as a matter of fact. But yeah, so that's the news this morning. But we're going to hear from the Fed today, and this is going to move the markets in my view. The minutes from the last meeting. Well, in my view, it's going to be more bullshit, as it always is. Oh, we're doing great. Our economy's expanding at its perfect pace, and we got to fight inflation and blah blah blah, all nonsense, cat shit, dog shit, and all that stuff. You all know that, but in my view, it has the potential to move the market. Now let's look over at the market. Are you watching that 10-year yield this morning? Lower. 2.73 the last time I looked at it. What does that tell us, people? Fear. Lots of fear in the market. Cash is making its way into the perceived safety of debt. I'm laughing. It's just insane. Okay. Now, with that said, stock futures are lower, as you would expect. I mean, think about it. 10-year yield coming down, fear, safety trade. You got stock futures lower, meaning at the opening bell, unless things change, trading doesn't start for about 32 minutes here. The markets will open lower. Okay, whatever. So what do we got? 10-year yield lower. Futures lower. So setup's not so great. Dollar stronger. The comparative strength of the dollar, or the relative strength. Same thing. You understand? The Dixie. And that's also not a good sign. Dixie being higher. So, as I said, the setup for the market this morning is not lovely at all. Crude oil, though, getting bid higher. WTI over $110 a barrel. Market loves it there. So that right now is a setup for the market. Let us move forward here. Bitcoin still around 29,000. Gold and silver this morning under some pressure. Okay. I think today really is going to pivot on what the Fed says, what comes out of the minutes later today. I will cover that in my post-market video, and I will more than likely send out a report in my free newsletter, link in the description of this lovely video. So I hope you catch that. Just yesterday, just real quick, we heard from, Fed President Bostic. And Fed President Bostic may have been floated out yesterday to kind of set the groundwork. And that was this. He said that he believed that the Federal Reserve should pause. They should take a break from raising rates because they want to fight inflation, You can't make any of this stuff up. Imagine that. But that's what they always do. You got these freaks saying one thing from the Fed, and these other freaks saying the polar opposite. Now, he obviously knows what the minutes are. So maybe he's setting the groundwork for what's going to come out later. But, I'm just speculating here. We'll see how this plays out. All right. So with regard to the market, let's summarize real quick. It looks like a safety trade pre-market. Is this going to turn out to be a fear trade? It could be. And it depends on, again, what comes out of the mouth of the Fed. If, in fact, the Fed minutes come out, I want you to watch that 10-year yield. If you see the 10-year yield start to move higher, this is going to be almost a sigh of relief for the market, and you should expect to see stocks turn around. You understand? And whatever comes out of their mouth is obviously going to affect the comparative strength or the relative strength of the dollar. So, number one, what you should be looking at after the Fed minutes or during them is what's that 10-year yield doing. And then look over at the Dixie, DXY, and see what that dollar is doing as well. And that's it. I mean, it's just more of the same. And it's a shocker. It's a shocker. Durable goods orders. Oh, they missed the mark. Who would have ever known? that we haven't had a single piece of good economic news in many years. It's all just bullshit, cat shit, dog shit, and all we've had is a cheerleader presidents and telling us how great everything is and we're all rich. Meanwhile, people are getting crushed, destroyed. I don't know about you, wherever town you live in, homelessness is exploding out here. Virtually every single street corner has someone out there, that needs money, begging for money, whatever it might be. But we're great. This whole thing is so sad. People getting wiped out, getting destroyed here, being understanding what's going on here. The mechanism is creating slaves to the system, and people. What are they doing? Well, they're tapping into their savings. Most people can't even come up with $500 for an emergency here in the United States. That's because everyone's rich. And, if everyone's rich, they should at least be able to come up with $500 for some kind of a financial shock. $500. Most people can't come up with it, like in an instant. That's insane. In a nation like this. Again, look, but the truth of the matter is, we're the largest debtor nation in the history of the world. We've never seen anything like this before, and it's going to get much greater. Just think about this concept. Every developed nation on earth, every single one, is buried under epic sums of debt, which keeps getting expanded on by their central banks, who are more than willing to lend. Think about that. What is this? This is central banks who are making every effort possible, and even things you can't dream about, to become the lenders and buyers of last resort. I've explained this concept to all of you for years and years. And they're going to use any mechanism to continue to inflate like that, whether it's wars, expanding wars, monkeypox, COVID, dog shit, pox, whatever kind of thing they're going to throw at you, so they can continue to inflate. And people sit back and they think this is all real. You've got to be kidding me. I'll tell you, it's out of control. But the fact of the matter is, it's in control. The central banks, who are the real government, have the world by the throat. They have the people of the world by the throat, by design. They put up whatever figurehead they want in a position to influence the people. Let's say a puppet president or whoever it might be, because we all understand kings, queens, monarchs, dictators, and presidents don't run a damn thing. They don't at all. It's these institutions. It's the central banks of the world who are the government. They control the money. They control the world. Everything else is bullshit. And that's the state of affairs. That's why things are crumbling around us. Central banks are determined to bring the world to its knees so they can fill the gap and be the lenders and buyers of last resort. And with regard to this financial system, it's going down. It's going down by design. Central banks, as you are well aware of, every single one of you is in a race to the bottom to destroy their currency, henceforth why you're seeing surging inflation here, and a new system is going to be ushered in. Again, this is all leading up to a climax, an epic moment in time where the financial system is going to just completely and absolutely melt down. And with that, as I have outlined many, many times, you're going to see the stock market crater beyond your wildest dreams. Everyone's sitting there focusing on the stock market where they should be looking over at the debt market. The action in the debt market now is fear. That's all this is, the inevitable meltdown, as you are, again, well aware of. The real big one, which has the potential to melt down the S&P 500 by 80%. Maybe more than that, by 80. Okay, this is maybe a conservative number because no one knows where the bottom is. Okay, is going to be when the debt market implosion occurs. And when the debt market implosion occurs, think about what this means. I've covered this before, but everything's going to lock up. You're going to go to your bank, there'll be no cash. ATMs aren't going to work. Credit cards are not going to work. Businesses will not be able to lend to each other. That was the real issue with regard to the last meltdown, 2008. It wasn't so much that the market crashed. It was the fact that the credit markets were freezing. And henceforth why massive capital injections, Federal Reserve pumping cash into the markets to free it up. And that is going to play out to be much, much more dramatic this time. I really hope you understand that, people. I honestly do. All right, look, just real quick, tonight, this is the night, okay? The Bower Buddies show. I hope to see you there because there's going to be a lot of fun stuff going on. I'll be there, and we're going to be giving stuff away. It's going to be a lot of fun, and that's 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I will send out a reminder in my free newsletter. Again, another reason why you should subscribe. And with regard to the Bower Buddies show tonight, I will place a link in the description of this video. I really hope to see you there. And I don't want to talk about the markets. I want to have a good time. That's what this is all about, right? Disconnect yourself from this freaking insanity for just a minute or two. All right. Love you a lot. Share the video. Let me know what you think. I'll read the comments as I always do. Promise. And I'll see you post-market.